I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm here with Kevin Howard, Executive Director of the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod, and we are here at the beautiful Cotuit Center for the Arts in Cotuit for the annual major exhibition that you do with the center, Seeing the Light.
Yeah, this year is Seeing the Light. This is our 7th winter exhibit, and what our major goals were to create a grand exhibit that would really feature emerging and established artists here on the Cape, and to connect them with students all over the Cape through class trips.
That's right, because the artwork in this particular exhibit is hung at a different level than normal.
It is. It's hung a foot lower, which is odd when people come, especially when the adults come in, they go, oh, it seems low.
For me, it's perfect.
But it actually makes it more accessible.
Sure.
One of the things about the show, too, and it really has evolved over time, is that in the beginning we had a lot that were oil on canvas, traditional arts, and now we've had a lot more different mediums represented, and it's a great opportunity to show our children all the different ways that you can express yourself in the arts.
That's right, express yourself and express the theme. What an interpretation of seeing the light, whether that's literal light, light in shadows, the light within. It's just remarkable how many different ways and interpretations these artists have shared.
Right, and we've tried to make, last year was Making Waves, before that it was Wild Things, so we've really tried to give themes that have that open interpretation be part of it.
That must be a challenge. How do you come up with the theme? And is it the jury committee that comes up with the theme each year?
Yeah, we brainstorm between staff and the jury. We come up with lots of names of different exhibits and then sort of take votes internally and decide what we think would be the best.
I can't imagine the jury committee. That must be a very challenging afternoon or a couple of afternoons to go through this work. How does that work?
Yeah, this year it was almost a whole day, and it was 452 submissions, which is a new record for us. It was 278 last year. And so, yeah, to take all these images and really think about all the missions that we're trying to serve and putting the exhibit together, it really is a challenge. But we had a terrific group of artists who were really committed to doing this, and it was a fun process. But then the real work begins, where you go from image to actual physical pieces, and Michelle Law is our curator for this exhibit, and she does an amazing job. I don't know how she says it's like putting together a puzzle. And this one was a complex puzzle.
Now, I don't want to make you call out a favorite, but is there a piece of work in the show that particularly stands out to you?
Well, you know, I always enjoy the traditional art pieces like Matthew Schultz's piece, which is oil on canvas. But we wouldn't want all Matthew Schultz pieces or like Matthew Schultz pieces. We love this one, the teaching piece. Just because I think it captures the spirit of the show. A grandfather teaching his grandchildren how to paint. I just think it's an amazing opportunity, and you can see the light streaming in, so it's a wonderful piece. We also, and the kids really enjoy this piece that, I don't know if you can quite see in the back, it's called Reflections, and it's all little pieces of mirror around a cast of the artist's head. And the children like it, especially younger students like it, because it's tactile. They actually can spin it around, and the lights from the two neon pieces next to it kind of flash off of it. And so it's actually a pretty meticulously put together piece, but really exciting. And again, our goal here is really to connect our children and the art, and give them art appreciation, because the fact of the matter is, if we don't instill art appreciation in our children, then we're not going to have it for generations to come.
That's right, that's right. And speaking of children, we will be chatting with Lenore Lyons, the Director of Arts Education here. She's going to talk to us a little bit about the docent program and some of the students coming through. But before we go, I do want to say that exactly to your point is that it makes it accessible, it's affordable, it's free for the community, and not only just for our children, but for the community who might be a little intimidated. This is a wonderful way to come in and see the gallery and feel the warmth inside and all the beautiful works around them.
I totally agree, and I also think that is also because of the warmth of the Cotuit Center for the Arts. It is a very inviting place, and it doesn't have that feeling like a traditional museum where, you know, people come in and they might start whispering. So it's a great place.
It's great. Well, thank you again. Thank you for all of the support you do for the arts on Cape Cod.
Great, and great work that you do too.
Thank you. I'm standing here with Lenore Lyons, Director of Arts Education at Cotuit Center for the Arts. We're now in the upper gallery, the loft. For the show, we're going to talk about some of the paintings here, some of the artworks. They're not all paintings. But Lenore, you are responsible for the docent program, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because one of the things that I love when I come to any exhibit, but this in particular, is first of all, this book has all of the artists' stories about their work, and I love that. I love the story. I love interpreting the work on my own, but then hearing what the artist had to say. And that's similar to what maybe or maybe not that the docent program does.
Well, it is similar. We have about 10 different docents that come in and tour the children around for about 45 minutes to see the different pieces. And they come from really all walks of the community. Some are retired teachers, some are students, some are community members and librarians. And that's really all coordinated through Christine Mascott at the Arts Foundation. But we have a training for them, and this year Carl Lopes was able to provide a real overview of how to critique and talk about a painting, and more importantly, to get the children themselves talking about the painting too.
That's right, and not just saying, I was so fortunate to be able to attend that class, and as you said, maybe in the fall he'll be teaching some of those classes here. It was just absolutely wonderful. Gave you a whole new perspective on how to look at a painting or a piece of work, and the fact that you may like it. Why do you like it? Not just, oh, I like it, I don't like it, but really getting the conversation going without intimidating or anybody even realizing why they like it or don't like it, all the elements that go into why you might say that. So you have, I'm sure, some interesting stories to tell about some of the things, because especially out of the mouths of babes.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have several, maybe a couple thousand children come here each year for this exhibit. And they come from Falmouth, Mashpee, Yarmouth, as far away as Orleans and Harwich and Brewster and Barnstable, and tour it with their classrooms. They're maybe from first grade through high school, with the majority being in elementary school. I usually talk to them at the beginning and kind of warm them up and getting them prepared. Some think they're coming to an art show, which is a play, so I have to rephrase that, they're coming to an exhibit. But then I kind of find out what they might think they would see in this show, what kind of light interpretations will the artists have, but I also ask them about making art themselves. And one of my favorites was a little 6-year-old first grader from Mashpee, and I asked her, do you make art? Well, she says, I got a big art kit for Christmas. So I take my kit and I go into my office and I put up my do not disturb sign on my door, and then I just get busy. So they tell things like that, and I just think it's wonderful. After the exhibit, I ask them, what did you like? And they have all kinds of different favorites. They all are, their individual favorites are as different as they themselves are. But one little boy, again a first grader, summed it up and he said, the artwork here in this show, it's really good.
There you go.
So, out of the mouths of babes, this here is one of their favorites.
A dramatic reveal you wanted to
That's
do,
right.
Lenore.
This Fish Eaters Anonymous by Carol McGurran. This, they're asked, is this shark friendly or menacing? And they always have different opinions and are able to share about that. But they like how the light is reflected through the water onto the top of the shark for this one.
Do you find that the docents, are the docent tours strictly for the students, or if adults or any age come through can join in on a tour?
They're really for the students, but adults I've seen sort of hovering around, and they're welcome to listen, but they're really geared for the students at this point. And if there's a child who's not able to come with their school group, we are having 2 tours during school vacation week. And the exhibit is open this year through vacation week, and any families can come in and do a self-guided tour if they're not here for the scheduled docent tour, through the pamphlet that you have there.
And I think, again, and we mentioned with Kevin, is that it's such a wonderful opportunity, and some of these kids, Lenore, have never really been to a museum or a gallery, so what a beautiful introduction for them to come in and be excited about it right here, this gem right in our community, that they can then come back for other programs, classes, theater, dance, music, a little bit of everything to realize that that's what's here.
That's absolutely true. And I guess the one thing that both the Arts Foundation and we want to accomplish with this exhibit is to inspire, to have them look at this art and realize that there's so many different ways of making beautiful art and that they themselves will go home and make some art themselves.
Oh, so well said. Thank you so much, Lenore.
Thanks, Melissa.
For Lenore Lyons, I'm Melissa Chartrand, wishing you an artful day.